Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we're in the beginning of October now, so I'm going to start doing some Christmas and holiday cards to give you a head start. So if you need to get any of the products, you can get all of them with links down below as always. So we're starting with Cherish the Season. Lovely stamp set with very pretty little bells on there and some little fir sprigs, leaves, branches to go in there. Merry Christmas. May you cherish the wonder of the season now and throughout the year. There's a to and a from for doing tags. So we're going to start by doing a bell card. And there is a coordinating die that goes with this, Sounds of the Season dies, which we'll be using later on. We're not going to use it today, so I'm not going to go and turn around and show you it. The colours we're using are a good black ink, and then Bumblebee and Soft Suede for colouring the bells, and Just Jade for stamping out the leaves. So, let us take a piece of Whisper White cardstock, which I've already got cut, and I've got a Just Jade mount to go on it afterwards like that. So we're going to take, the first thing you need to do is to stamp out on copy paper. The reason I do it on copy paper is it's very thin, so when we mask and do other bells, it means that it doesn't have that ridge line. So we're going to do one of them in each one of the larger bells. So this one's attached to there. So we have two that are going to be our masks. And then we're going to take out the larger bell, which we want, the smaller bell, which we want, and we'll have a little Merry Christmas at the top. Now, if you don't celebrate the season, you don't have to do that. You can do just a pretty bell card and put whatever sentiment you want on there. So, these are red rubber stamps, which are lovely. So we just need to get a block, put this on, and we are going to just ink it up in, as I say, a good black ink, whichever is your preferred. And we are going to stamp this in the centre at the bottom. And as you can see, it has beautiful detail on it. I think it's really rather lovely. So that's the first one. Then what I want to do is to take the other bells. I'm just cleaning off my stamp as I go with my Simply Chamois. So we're going to take the other bell. We're going to ink that up. First of all, we're going to take our mask and we're going to put the mask in over the top. Now, I cut my mask very close round the edge because you don't want to have that white halo showing. So the little round bell, we're going to put that one up in on this side, just in at that angle. I'm doing them at different angles so they look quite nice and random. So we've got that one coming through on there. Then we are going to do exactly the same on the other side. So again, line it up and make sure that it's as close to your edge as you can. And then we're going to take the other bell and we're going to line that up at another angle. And as I say, do the angles however you want. But that then gives you the bells tucked in behind with different angles. Then we are going to take which I didn't take out of it, we need to have the little sprig. So we're going to have the lovely little green sprig, and this is a very simple card to do, just a simple one layer card. But we're going to start simple and then we're going to build up as we go with different cards as we go on. So with this one, we again need to put the little bell for the mask in. So we'll put that little bell up close to the edge. We're going to get the Just Jade, open that one up. Ink it up. and then we are going to do that coming over this side. I want it so that the fur doesn't go right the way off the side, so it just gives a little piece there. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we're going to line up our little mask in on the other side, and again just sort of tuck it in. And again with this one we're going to have it quite far. Ooh, it might actually, I'm going to have it just at a bit of an angle so that it comes in and doesn't go over the other one. Like that. Take that off, and you can see you've got that sort of tucked in below. And I might even try and get another one in just down in on the bottom here. So let's try and see that. What direction are we going to do it? We're going to have it just sort of coming up like this. And take that off. Okay, so you've got a lovely little sort of sprigs coming through underneath, just tucked in. And then we can put our Merry Christmas, and we can do it in black, or we can do it in... We could do it in the green. I'm going to do it in the black. Am I? No, I'm going to do it in the green, because I think the green will look quite pretty. Make sure I've got the words the right way up. And we're just going to stick that in on the top like that. So you've got that in the lovely Just Jade. Okay, now we need to do a little bit of colouring on this. So we're only using, as I say, 3... apart from the black, just 3 different colours. So that's the Just Jade. We're then going to take the Bumblebee out, and I'm just going to put a little bit of the Bumblebee in on the edge of my block. So we've got some colouring on there. I might need to put a little bit more in. We'll just have to see as we go. Let me take that block stamp set just out of the way. So, using our aqua painters, to make sure that I've got some water that's come through on this and dried it out fairly well. And then I'm just going to make it so that it's quite fairly loose. I don't want it too dark at the moment, so let's just a little bit of extra water in on here. That gives me my palette, and then we can just mix that up. And then because the brushes are quite light, quite fine, it means that we can go round and just colour in the bells. Now you can do it with watercolour paper if you want to, but as long as you don't have it too wet, you can just bring it across quite nicely, and it will just blend in with the brush. And if you get the darker colour, you can just give the shadows a little bit more in on there. And I'm going to, while I'm at it, so I can then do one at a time, I'm going to take a little bit of the soft suede, which again will just give me a little bit of a, pick up some water in there because I don't want it too dark. And I'm just going to, where these brown, where the shadows are, just give a little bit of extra shadow in on there in the soft suede. So we can take that up in on here, just bring that through. So we're going to take a little bit more on here, and we can do the second one. So again, I start with the dark part, and then I can just bring it through on the lighter bit. bring it through on here. Now, if you know how to do your colouring, you can fast forward this bit, but I always find that there's a lot of you that enjoy seeing just how I build up the colours. So again, we're going to start on this with just a little bit deeper colour in the bumblebee. So just take it on the lines that are already there. Down on there. Down on this little bit at the bottom, and then down on that side. Then we can take a little bit of the soft suede, which will just give a little bit of extra definition on this. Bring that through. So that's our second one. Let's take the next one, which is the larger one. So I'm going to start here and then bring it through. Start it here in the bottom. And say if you use the side of your brush and literally just sort of stroke it through, the bumblebee is a lovely sort of golden colour, so it makes it look like little pretty jingle bells, which are quite nice. So that's the, and I'm going to do both of these while we're at it. So just take this one down, a little bit up here on the top. Take this just down on the bottom, and then we can do the other bits. So now with the darker part, so you've just picked up a little bit of deeper bumblebee to go across through on this hatching, because that's the nice thing when you've got hatching and things, it automatically tells you where your dark shadows are going to come. So again on this one we're using the darker part rather than watering it down. So taking that up on there, this down in on the bottom, just round in here on the bottom, we can just give a little bit of extra colour in on here, and then again on these bits they are darker round where the hatching is, so we can go through on these ones and just give them a little bit of extra colour. And because this brush is very fine tipped, it's relatively easy to go round on there. Okay, now we just need to take the soft suede, and again we can just get some little bit of darker hatching in on there. And you don't always have to apply your colour. If you're just doing little bits like this, you might just want just a hint of it rather than picking up any more. So I tend to just do it where I know it's the darkest bit, and then just take what's left on my brush to just go through, and then maybe just pick up a little bit more just to take it through on the top of this bit here, which is in on the dark bit. Okay, so you now have your bells, which look more realistic like bells, which I think are very pretty. And let me just, if you want to clean it very quickly on your block, just take your Simply Chamois and you can clean that block down very easily, and then you've got the clean block ready to work with again. Okay, so that is our and we can clean our brush as well. So if you just get your Simply Chamois, you can then just add some water down on there and just clean your brush off a bit, and then do it if you need to. Whoops, let's make sure I've tied that up. Tie that on. Okay, so this is then going to go onto the card base like that. And then if you have any glitter glue or anything like that that you want to add a bit of extra sparkle, you can take our Wink of Stella to start off with. So Wink of Stella doesn't show up particularly well, but I would, as I say, just add a little bit of Wink of Stella on. Then that gives the baubles just a really nice sort of pretty sparkle on them. And again, you don't have to be overly precise. You're just giving a little bit of sparkle on there, and then that gives that. And then I use, and this is just something that you can pick up from most of your art stores and stuff, we don't stock it, which is just glitter glue, and it's really pretty just for adding just a little bit of extra sparkle in on there. So I tend to do round across on the bands of the bells that come across, and then just maybe a little bit and quite sort of roughly over it to just give it that extra little bit of sparkle, because when it dries you just have the sparkle on there. We used to do some more sort of sparkly things, but we haven't got a huge selection now, so if you just want that extra bit of sparkle, you can put that in. So a very simple card to start off with, but beautiful bells. And I did another one which I did with, which I'll just bring out to show you. So that's done with our water, just using our inks that we've got. This is done using the blends. So again, you know, you can use either blends, you can use watercolour pencils, but you just get that lovely sort of little tone on it, and it's not overly done so the bells don't look unrealistic. Just doing the shadows, you get the beautiful realism in there. So stamp set we've used is Cherish the Season. We're going to be doing a lot more with this over the coming week, so come back to see more ideas. If it's a stamp set you've bought, hopefully it'll give you some more ideas from it. So thank you so much for watching me. As always, stay safe and stay well and be kind. Bye bye.